10 points away. All those times when your team had no fight, they're just so gosh darn frail. Then your star quarterback let another deep ball sail, and your third round pick bet on his team. Then go check out our streets where everybody knows your pain, and they listen to complaints. You wanna be where you can see our bodies bring you no shame. You wanna go where everybody knows your pain.
Welcome into another episode of Dad Bod Fantasy Squad. I'm here with Robbie Bobby. What's up, dude?
Mario, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I am tired, dude. I am.
Do you have your coffee or what?
I do, but I also just ate, so it's like real hard to down, you know, like.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you this before the episode, but I definitely overate for dinner, so I'm feeling a little heavy.
I've had. Well, here's how the day went, right? So I go into the office for the first time ever today. First day in.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was, I don't want to name drop. I'm not comfortable with name dropping, but we are in Columbus, and this was like a mini Google in Columbus. Like, that's how impressed I was. Like, free food, free breakfast, free coffee, any coffee you want. There's booze there.
Oh yeah.
In addition to that, this is a whole new building. In addition, we did a happy hour. A happy hour got extended a little bit, you know what I mean? And then I had salad for lunch. I had a pizza sometime in happy hour, and then a salad for dinner, dude. So it was like, it's nothing too heavy. I just ate, or else I would be chugging this coffee.
It's all right. You'll wake up. I believe in you.
It'll get there. It will get there. Once it gets down a little bit more, it will get there.
Right.
Dude, so we have a pretty cool show for you. We actually initially had a mock planned for today, but I'm not ready to mock. Are you?
Still a little early, man. I think what we're gonna do. I think what we're doing is a little bit more for the people.
For the people. For the dads.
For the bods.
For the bods.
Yeah, we got to come up with a nickname for our fans. You know, is it gonna be
squad.
the bods?
Can it just be the squad?
The bod squad.
For the squad just sounds really freaking good. I know it's not like, you know, it's not Conheads.
Conheads is probably the best you can come. I mean, you can't beat that. So.
but the squad, you know, it's good.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's not ours, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I am trying to get the tweet out saying, come join.
I was wondering what the hell you were doing.
So trying to do this for
while Mario is creating a tweet, I will give you guys a rundown of what we're going to do today. So we are going to go over the Dad Bod Squad consensus rankings for each position. Quarterbacks, we're going to go through the top 15. Running backs, top 24. Wide receivers, top 24. Tight ends, top 12.
No. Just QBs, RBs right now.
You want to do just QBs, RBs?
Yeah, because we're not going to even make it to tight ends. Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess if we have extra time, we'll keep running, but yeah, we might not get there. So we're going to, I guess, focus QBs top 15 and running backs top 24. We're going to go over a few of the players from each category that there might be some discrepancy within the Dad Bod Squad, and we'll go over you know, where we have them, why we have them there, maybe a little argument between me and Mario on some of these guys, and we'll get through that. But first, Mario, go ahead.
What was first? Now I'm excited.
I have a little trivia game.
Oh, yeah, baby.
If you want to give it a go.
See, we're definitely not going to have anything for tight ends. I do want to add something real quick. The players that we have picked out, we're actually a pretty consensus group so far this year. So when I was looking through, I was like, let me pick out the 3 most different QBs and 3 most different RBs than we are from Fantasy Pro consensus. Well, it didn't necessarily work that way. So there was, I want to say 4 of these players were pretty far off consensus. And then 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, it's the last 2 that we'll be talking about. We're not that far off from consensus, but I think it's a good conversation. So hell yeah, I want to do some trivia.
Let's do some trivia, dude. Okay, so I'm just going to throw you the question. There's a few difficult ones. I'm going to let you.
I've been waiting my whole life for trivia. So
yeah, it's the best. So I'm going to let you at first give me a guess on what you think it is, or if you know it, just throw it out. If you don't, I'll start giving you some clues on the player. Okay, these are all, for the most part, players, years, that kind of stuff. So the first one, this will kind of just be a softball for you. This is kind of where we're at.
Warm up.
A little warm up. In 2019, Lamar
Derrick Henry.
No. Oh. Lamar Jackson was the second player to be named the unanimous MVP.
Who was the first? Aaron Rodgers.
No. Right position.
Patty.
It was not Patty Mahomes.
Oh, damn it. It's Peyton Manning.
It's not Peyton Manning. You're on the right track.
I have no clue.
You're on the right track.
Of course I'm on the right track because it's
so you're in the right
90% is MV and quarterbacks.
You're in the
I don't
right
want to say Tom
range
Brady. I'll be so sad if it's Tom Brady.
It is big turkey Tom Brady.
Wait, from when though? 07?
I believe so. I didn't
or
get a year.
08 or whatever that
when he went
golden
nuts
year was.
Year.
Yeah.
With Randy Moss.
Whew. That sucks.
So that's your softball.
That didn't feel very soft.
In 2000, which team became the first to have 4 selections in the first round?
In 2000?
In the year 2000.
Four selections in the first round. Who was terrible in 2000? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Carolina?
No, that's a good guess though. So
this is really tough.
This is a tough one.
Am I an idiot?
No.
I lived for trivia until I'm 0 for 2.
I know you do. That's why I thought you might know some of these. Their color scheme is green and white.
Packers?
No. Green and white?
Well,
wouldn't they be green and like yellow?
Yellow. The Jets? The Jets had 4?
Jets. Jets for the 4th.
All right.
That's a tricky
I'm ready for this next one.
All right.
What up, Albert?
Take your time, think it through.
Okay.
And let me give you a hint when you get it wrong.
Okay.
In 2007, Jamarcus Russell was selected first by the Raiders. Who went number 2 overall?
In 2007. So this was post Vince Young. This one I should actually legit know.
This was in our time range.
Is this DeMario?
No, that's a good guess.
Well, he had to be 05 or 06 also then.
Yeah.
This was before. This was after Reggie Bush as well. Stafford?
No. Same team.
Calvin Johnson. 2 overall. Wait,
number
so Stafford
2
was
overall.
the following year then, because I think he may have been 101.
Yeah, maybe. I think, yes, I believe you're correct. Yeah, Stafford was definitely the first pick. That was a good. Hey, we're getting better. We're getting better.
I felt like I got there eventually. You assisted.
I saw the wheels turning. This is a tricky one, but I thought it was a cool question. Which year did the Houston Texans play their first season?
Oh shit! It's 01 or 03. It's 01 or 03. If it's 02, son of a bitch, it's within that. It's 03.
No.
What?
No. You're close.
Was it 04?
No.
It's 02, isn't it?
It's 02. When you said it's 01 or 03, I was like, oh no.
How? Why is this
It was
happening to
02?
me?
Why would you say 01 or 03 and not 02?
I thought for certain it was 03.
That's a great guy. I mean, hey, you were a year
I know
off,
they're
so
the newest. They're the newest team.
yeah, that's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Damn,
Who
20
won the
years next year.
2009 Super Bowl MVP when the Steelers defeated the Arizona Cardinals?
It's Antonio Holmes.
Boom.
One out of 5.
Let's go. I mean, I figured you'd get that with the OSU ties. So that was one of the best Super Bowls.
That was a
I
good
remember, even though the Steelers won, I hated it, but it was a great Super Bowl. In 2013, which quarterback set the NFL record with this? You're not going to get this, but it's a great question. With 4 straight games throwing a pick six. 2013.
I may need a team assist here, like a team. But does the team give it away completely?
I don't think so. So he was on a bunch of teams, but I believe
What's
the team
the
he was
2013? Yeah.
I believe he was on Houston.
Matt Castle?
No. You got the first
Matt
name
Schaub?
right. Yes.
What?
Matt Schaub. 4 pick sixes in a row.
That didn't get beaten by, was it Jameis?
He set the record back then.
4 pick sixes
in 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
That's a wild stat.
That is nuts.
That is a wild stat.
I think Jameis came close though, maybe 2 or something. Maybe I'm not even.
Yeah, I think you're right. 4 in a row, that'd be crazy to see. And then our last one, I feel like you should know this, but let's see. Which quarterback holds the record for most interceptions thrown in a career?
I should know this.
Yeah, I feel like this is a pretty common trivia
I have
question.
2 guesses. I have 2 guesses that actually, I'm going to rule one out. And I'm going to go with one that doesn't make me look stupid. And I think he might be the leader. Brett Favre.
You are correct, Mario.
Oh, whew, shoo.
There we go. It ended strong, baby.
Dude, I can't wait to play some Weddle, but we don't have time yet. But I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I love these trivia games we got going on now in the beginning of the shows. I think it's just fun, man. It's a good way to kind of get some interesting, different perspective on the NFL and learn some stuff that's, in the same ballpark as what we're doing. It's a fun little way to start the episodes.
It is. And I can't wait to get we're going to try to build this hopefully eventually to have some more customized games, but it could be really fun. Yeah. And I really want to kind of do it stat heavy in certain categories, right?
Geared towards more fantasy.
I want to be like the Rain Man with stats,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Kmart. Yeah.
It's a good way to do it, baby.
Yeah.
You're going to be the NFL. Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do today. So we've all kind of talked about our RBs, actually QBs, sorry. And we've gone through our top 12, but we haven't talked about our consensus. So there's a group of 6 of us doing our ranks. We take the average and we see what that kind of pulls out. Like I said, at the top of the show, though, it has been largely pretty on its consensus, right? Like we have had a lot of close, when we take the combination of all our ranks, close to what fantasy expert says here. So Robbie, if you don't mind reading off the Dad Bod's top 15 QBs, and then we'll get into our first topic of the night.
Let's do it. Coming in at number 1, Josh Allen. Number 2, Patty Mahomes. Number 3, Jalen Hurts. Number 4, Joe Burrow. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Lamar Jackson. Number 7, my man Trevor Lawrence. Coming in at 8 is Justin Fields. Number 9, Deshaun Watson. Number 10, Kirk Cousins. 11, Daniel Jones. Number 12, we have Aaron Rodgers. Number 13, Tua Tagovailoa. Number 14, Geno Smith. And number 15, we have Dak Prescott finishing it up.
So I think you doing that just triggered a core memory of the first time we ran this podcast, which was we used to do, we recorded and then we edited afterwards.
Yes. And
there was a moment where Robbie got caught up on something, and every time he would end with like that, it just rolled into that.
Yeah, it was my way of ending something I couldn't say.
Farquad here says 1 through 8 is way too pricey for me. That's
Don't
very
we know,
on brand. Yeah, we are aware. There's actually, and I want to make sure I get the slide right before I bring it up here. We have. Let me remove Farquad here. Dak Prescott as a group at QB 15. Are we too low as a group? Because Fantasy Pros has him at 9.
Yeah, I think you, Brian, and Alex are absolutely insane.
I guess you're the high one.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, I have him at 10. Norton's at 13, and then Cody's at 12. I just don't understand where you guys are coming from. Putting him putting him as a QB2 that deep is unbelievable to me. Why do you have him that far down?
Why do you have him at 10? What makes you say that he's 10?
He finished last season as QB 18 in 12 games.
2, 3, 4.
He was QB 7 in 21. 2020 is when he broke his ankle and only played four games, I believe. He was QB 2 in 2019. He was QB 10 in 2018. He consistently passes for over 4,000 yards. He leads the league in attempts all the time. He's not going to run around a ton like he used to, but I think he's proven himself as one of the better pocket passing quarterbacks in the league. Has CeeDee Lamb still. They brought in Brandon Cooks, another season of Gallup off of the ACL, Pollard. So he should emerge, and Tony Pollard's there.
Okay, so I here's the problem that I'm having, because as much as I think that I like Dak, I don't think that's a question, and I know my 18 rank does not show him. The problem becomes, how do I get him past somebody? Do you have him past Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I have Daniel Jones at 12.
How? He finished higher than him.
And Dak Prescott played 12 games.
Okay, but Daniel Jones rushes the ball. So you don't think that
he does?
On average, his points per game, he finished higher than him. Daniel Jones was QB. Yes, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. While Dak was 14. QB 14 points per game.
Daniel I also think 10. Dak is going to be significantly more efficient than what he was last season. He was playing hurt at the back half of the season. He had the most interceptions of his career.
Insane.
He had the most interceptions of his career.
Which were not his fault, so I'm with you.
Yeah, so he had the highest
I get it, Willie.
turnover-worthy percentage of his career at 3.8. His career average is 3%. So I believe that's coming back down to norm. Bringing in Brandon Cooks is huge for this offense and Dak Prescott as a whole. He's going to be able to actually look at the field as opposed to kind of keying in on CeeDee Lamb like he was last season, because let's be honest, it was him and Noah Brown.
So wait, is this the argument against Daniel Jones?
No, this is my argument on why I like Dak so much. So
But I guess that's what I'm saying, though. I'm not like, I need you to walk through this with me together. So Daniel Jones, you could use that same exact argument that you just did, like literally almost verbatim. He got a little bit more weapons. He has Darren Waller now. He got a rookie wide receiver.
It's a difference of. I don't think Daniel Jones is that good of a passer. So like, is he going to use those weapons in the correct way? I don't know. Is Darren Waller?
Do you have him higher than Jared Goff?
To help him out 100%. Yes, I do. Significantly higher than Jared Goff.
That's your boy. How do you think Amon-Ra's going to eat without Goff?
I'm a little lower on Amon this season than I was last year, but
that's bad.
It's not like I statted Jared Goff terribly. I just believe in Dak Prescott and his abilities, and I believe he's proven it over his career. And again, he's adding a weapon, and he still has one of the top 5 receivers in the league. I think all his metrics are going to come back to the norm of his career, and with that, I believe he's going to finish as a top 10 quarterback.
He doesn't have
where he consistently does.
They hated Kellen Moore, but now he's just stuck with old Mike. Who's the OC that they had him replaced with? Kellen Moore?
Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Is that who they replaced him with?
Yeah, right. Didn't they? It wasn't a Schottenheimer.
I feel like that's weird.
It was one of those NFL.
I thought he was
old schooly names. Are you pulling it up?
Yeah, Schottenheimer. Yeah.
Yeah. Which again, okay, so that's another argument that we keep hearing about the Dallas offense is that they're going to go back to the 1960s and run the ball 35 times. So there's 2 schools of thought on this, right? And I've been thinking about this a lot. You can look at that coaching hire and say, yeah, they're going that would show that they're going to plan on running the ball a lot more than they usually do. That's going to take away some of Dak Prescott's throws. Me, on the other hand, I'm looking at what they have done to their team as a whole. And what they've done to their team as a whole is only add Brandon Cooks and get rid of Ezekiel Elliott. Getting rid of a running back who had over 200 carries last season, not bringing anybody else in. You have a smaller running back in Tony Pollard who won't be able to carry the ball 300 times. All the moves that they've made in the offseason just show to me that they're going to keep throwing the ball as much as they have.
I just struggle because you have Tua under him, Aaron Rodgers, which I guess you can argue Daniel Jones.
Tua, I could flip around.
Kurt,
I'm in on
QB7, Cousins, Geno Smith. Man, I don't see what you're seeing here. I understand the weapon standpoint. It is a little bit scary that the offense is changing. I don't necessarily hate on Dak, though. I think that's a little bit of a disconnect between you and I. I know I have him at QB 18. I just like these guys more. And I think I would draft these guys higher. So if it comes down to while they're close to the same tier, here's the thing. Kyler Murray, I currently have statted ahead of him. I know I have Kyler handicapped, if you will. I think it's about 6 games that I took him off. Maybe 4, and that could change. That is one person that I could definitely see going behind him. But Daniel Jones, Goff,
you're saying you have Dak Prescott statted for a 17-game season, and Kyler Murray statted for an 11-game season, and Kyler Murray comes away with more points.
Kyler just runs more, dude. What do
You're
you want?
Insane.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I have him close to the points that you have him. It's not like that. Well, your points are high. So maybe not yours. I have them within 30 from you.
Okay.
You don't even have Kyler ranked, though. So, you're kind of cheating the system because you're going to wait till you figure out more.
I think I have him for
it's barely any. Now, 1,500 yards, 1,200 yards or something like that.
2,400 yards?
No, you don't have him for 24, do you? Do you have him rushing at all? You have him
270. Yeah, I ranked.
Yeah.
I think I did 8 games for him.
I mean, the thing is, Dak hasn't came out He finished QB 14 last year, and he had these weapons. He had CDs.
He did not have these weapons.
Did he not have Schultz? Did he not have CD? Did he not have Tony Pollard?
Schultz,
did he not have Zeke? What is that? Is that not enough?
No. You're running an offense with one wide receiver. No, it's not for a quarterback.
That's not. Kirk Cousins was QB7 with one wide receiver.
You saw Thielen. Thielen wasn't terrible. He had my dude KJ.
See what I mean? Like, what am I arguing with here?
Dude, Justin Jefferson is a completely different animal, though.
Then CD, your guy?
Even than CD.
That's your guy.
And you know how much I love CD.
All right. I think we can definitely get a board bet on here, but I do think we've already drove this into the ground, right?
Yeah, you're nuts, and I'm gonna scoop
we will
up
save
as
this
much
for
back
board
as
bet.
I can this season.
I don't know, dude. It may be
I
just
don't know. Maybe it is, but I don't know how you guys can stat him at 18, 21, and he finishes 18 in 12 games. I don't get it.
I mean, you're projecting nobody to get hurt. So I don't know.
Sure, but he was 14, like you said, 14 in fantasy points per game, coming off of missing 6 games last season, coming in hurt, and playing with one wide receiver.
I hear you, and like I'll look at this, but this is I started this at the top, and I'm gonna close it at the bottom. This is a product of the least exciting player to draft here, and I just didn't force to push him up. Willie's all in. Willie's saying Dak top 10.
Yeah.
Man, you are really all in, Willie. Willie says based off of average, he probably left 80 points on the table.
Yeah, I think I think he'll be fine.
So then we had another guy here, and I don't think this is a consensus guy. It's not him. It is Justin Herbert, which actually Mudcat has changed his ranking on him as of last night. Yeah. Oh, he was supposed to be 30. He has him at 4 now. Okay. Justin Herbert coming in out of our QB5. This was one that is not necessarily off on consensus. Consensus has him at QB7. But here's the thing. The dude threw 700 times. 700 last year. Do you know his TDs off the top of your head?
25.
You do know his TDs off the top of your head. Mm-hmm. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Like what if what is changing, right? Like are they going to run more? No, they're not going to use Eckler in the run game more. They don't typically. 25 and 10 TDs. It's absolutely insane for 700 passes. So the fact that Fantasy Pros has him at QB7 to me is a little high, but more so we haven't got to talk about him necessarily. We haven't highlighted him yet. And I really wanted to get your thoughts on him. You have him at QB7, which is the consensus. I have him at QB6 right there with you. Cody has him at 4. It shows 5 there, but we're in a solid range here. So this isn't necessarily a debate, but like if they throw 700 times again, he has another weapon. He has Kellen Moore. He took Dak's superpower. What's the possibility that he could kind of can he sneak into the top 3? Is it in his range of outcomes to sneak in the top 3?
I wholeheartedly believe it is. He's somebody that I am actively trying to obtain in redraft this season. If he slides far enough to like the 4th, 5th round, I think I'll scoop him up. Of qualified quarterbacks, I think 165-ish dropbacks, which is like nothing, right? That's nothing for quarterbacks. He was 4th in completion percentage, 4th in yards, the lowest turnover worthy percentage at 1.7%, which is insane. 2nd in adjusted completion percentage. His yards per, so this is where he fell off, right? Yards per attempt dropped from 7.5 to 6.8 last season, and his touchdowns dropped from 38 to 26 while throwing 70 more times than he did. The issue,
his yardage isn't bad. He was minus 300, right?
He was exceptionally good in all the metrics, except the average depth of target and the touchdowns, I think it has a lot to do with how many of his weapons were hurt last season. He was doing a lot more dump off stuff.
D said Jay Herbo. It's funny because this is his guy right here. So he popped in.
Yeah, no, I think there's a
he did dump down more to Eckler last year. He had no receivers.
I think he dumped down to Eckler when Keenan and Mike Will were hurt. When they were both on the field,
no receivers.
When they were both on the field, he got no work. I mean, I don't want to say no work in the pass game. Eckler, a lot less work.
Yeah.
A lot less work, which would bring up his average depth of target, right? So if these guys stay healthy, which is a big if with Mike Will and Keenan Allen, I don't see. I can really see a world where he is a top 3 quarterback. Get those touchdowns back up to like the 35 to 40 range. I wouldn't be surprised.
I completely agree with you. If he even surpasses 38, he's easily top 4, most likely, assuming that the yards are going to be there, which they have been his whole career. The part that like puts him over the edge is like, do we see them kind of sneak him into the goal line? It's not like he's not a runner. He doesn't not run the ball. Would love to see them do some QB sneaks in the goal line. Maybe stack a little like 4 TDs rushing, dude. That puts him over the edge. That would get him near the top 3. And it's hard to crack that. Patty Mahomes is pretty much the only one that's in that list for the past couple of years that has done it almost predominantly on his arm. And you really got to hit that 40 number.
And I think Herbert can do it. He's one of the few quarterbacks that can do it on his arm solely.
All right, dude. So we have one more QB to talk about before we move to some RBs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this was necessarily us being all over the board, but QB consensus is 15 on Fantasy Pros. I don't see it. We, as a whole, have him as QB 12. You have him at 11, so you're close to our average. In what world are you necessarily – why aren't you higher, right? Like every year we've seen Aaron Rodgers dominate except for last year with a broken thumb. Why aren't you higher?
Yes. Who, me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
It's not that I'm not high on him because he is in my tier. Let me pull this up. I got a weird tier.
Don't want to hear about the tiers because I couldn't use that.
I mean,
Dak,
he's within. He's within like 5 points of being QB9, so I'm not too concerned about that. That's where I have him. But I'm with you. I think he can have a really good season. I don't see how you're dropping him down to like 15. That's tough for me to get on board with. The only thing that I will say, which is why I didn't pump him up even higher, kind of like where you're at, is based on him just switching to a different team system. You don't know how that first month of the season is going to go and kind of if there'll be some time adjustment kind of thing. But yeah, he was great. He had, like you said, he probably had his most inefficient season last year passing. He had some of the youngest and most inexperienced receivers that he's dealt with in his whole career, and he still finished as a QB 13 last season. He could sneak in there, but he's got to be so uber efficient.
He is a Swiftie. He was at the concert. You're right. I was trying to figure this out. What he meant by that. Go ahead. Sorry, I got excited about that.
You did get real excited about Taylor Swift. But yeah, I'm in on him. It's not like I'm not in on him. I could see him finishing top 10 for sure. Time will tell. It's not like I'm out. I don't have him at 15 or anything like that. Like I'd be fine having him as a QB.
I will say that there obviously with a QB that's 38, 39, there's risk involved when anytime you're putting him this high. And really, we haven't I don't even think we did with Peyton. Drew Brees might have cracked top 10s at this age. Tom Brady obviously is the clear one, right?
I got to look at Brian's rankings because he's got A-Rod at 17. He had Dak at 21 or some shit. Like the dude's all over the map.
I guess my thing is here is like the risk is there. So Willie says he's got him 12 to 16. I see it higher. Like, we're talking about a guy that's going to an offense with his old buddy Hackett, right? I know Hackett was a terrible OC or head coach, but he was a good OC in Green Bay. We're talking about he's got, I'm going to say it, borderline elite Garrett Wilson, rookie, 1,100 yards, not many TDs, but he's got old gunslinger Aaron Rodgers now. He has 2 tight ends that are worthy, nothing special, but can catch the ball. I mean, Conklin and CJ Uzama are very serviceable tight ends. He's got his boy Alan Lazard. And then we're not even mentioning he's got Breece Hall and Michael Carter in the backfield with sprinkle in a little Zonovan and Izzy. The team is kind of loaded on offense. I guess I think the argument that could be made that would oh shit, forgot Corey. Oh, Corey, don't forget me, Cole Hardman.
Don't you dare.
The argument that could be made against me having A-Rod at 8, to me, the argument that could be made is their defense might be really freaking good where he just might not throw enough. And if that's the case, then I have messed up this ranking, because if their defense dominates like it looks like it could, he might not have to throw a lot. And guess what? He's not going to pick up those on his feet. So like that, that could be the argument that's made for the higher end here. But man, I just look at this team and I think they're just going to kind of dominate offensively. And I still think that defense is nice. So that's the argument that could scare me.
And like you said, Breece Hall being there too. I mean, that dude showed glimpses of being an elite rusher last season. You might not need to throw the ball.
Bathy. Nasty.
You might not need to throw the ball 600 times if you have a defense like that and a running back who can kind of take care of it himself. You're right. I don't hate where you have him. I'm not here to debate that because I could see a world where he finishes 8.
Interesting. You have him right behind your Dak.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our bet. Aaron Rodgers versus Dak. Yeah, that's it.
Dollar cone.
Oh, where's A-Rod? Oh, no.
Even though I have him 1 spot difference and you have them like 10, but that's fine.
It is what it is.
You do have them 10, and I have them 1 spot difference.
You already accepted the bet. The bet has been made.
I'll take the bet. That's fine.
A career low in pass attempts? Willie, you're in on this. You take the A-Rod and Dak bet then too, bucko. He's in. All right,
me and Willie think alike.
Yeah, apparently. I'm going to need you to kind of, do the quick run through on the top 12, and then we're going to do quick run through on 13 through 24 for our consensus RBs.
Number 1, Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Austin Eckler. Coming in at 3 is Saquon Barkley. Number 4, Jonathan Taylor. Number 5, Josh Jacobs. Number 6, my man Tony Pollard. 7, Bijan Robinson. Number 8, Derrick Henry. 9 is Nick Chubb. Number 10, Ramondre Stevenson. 11 is Breece Hall. Number 12 is Miles Sanders.
Oh, we are a group that is high on Miles Sanders.
Yes, we are.
That's high.
That's high. Consensus has to be what, 20?
16?
18?
No, it's higher than you think. This has been surprisingly high. No, it's 21. Never mind. Consensus is 21. Wait, this is standard. No, it's PPR. Damn, 21. We are high on Miles Sanders as a group.
I love it. I'm going to have a lot of Miles this year.
I do have him a ton in best ball. Hit us with those 13.
Number 13, Najee Harris. Number 14, Aaron Jones. 15, Travis Etienne. Number 16, Jahmyr Gibbs. 17, Ken Walker. 18, J.K. Dobbins. Number 19, Joe Mixon. 20, Cam Akers. 21, DeAndre Swift. 22, Alvin Kamara. 23, James Conner. And 24, Rachaad White.
How did Rachaad White sneak in our top 24?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing.
That surprises the shit.
Just volume alone.
I think because we on average have him like 25. I feel like it's like 24 to 37, but we're all very close in that range. So maybe that's how it gets him into 24. Thomas said here, I think you guys forgot ETN. Would love to debate ETN. I probably could do it all day, but I have shelved. I've shelved him because we have already hit him probably on 2 different episodes of arguments. So he's been shelved for the past 2 at least. So maybe
me both getting
come back to him,
having to defend him.
Yeah, that's true. Robbie is all in on ETN for the oddest reasons you would ever imagine, and they all have to do with T-Law. We got B-Rob mixed up with the real B-Rob, according to Willie. That means number 7 is actually supposed to be Brian Robinson. We had it mixed up.
Damn, Willie, you caught us. Thanks for the mix-up. We'll fix that right away.
Speaking of B-Rob, let's go to Bijan Robinson. So this was interesting. We're not off consensus-wise. I think we're actually a little bit. We're RB7 compared to RB4. What I thought was interesting here is the vast – look at this. The array of ranges. We have 1, 5, 6, 3, 15, 8. Like we are – and it's not like we're kind of balled up. Obviously, most of us are under 10. It's kind of a big range here. So, like, Robbie, you're out of the group the second highest. Why? Or lowest, I guess you would say.
Full disclosure, I was talking to Norton about this pre our episode. By the time my final rankings come out, he's probably going to be around the 5 area for me.
Okay, so that makes this conversation less exciting then, because we wanted to hear
so that's just full disclosure. But I will give you kind of my rundown on what I was thinking with Bijan and why I did this. Is my main issue is I believe this offense is going to go a lot more pass happy than they were last season when they were in a crazy run pace, especially when they had Marcus Mariota under center. They were throwing the ball 23 times a game, as opposed to 29 to 30 when Ritter was passing those last 4 weeks. I also believe, I know Bijan's going to be the dude there, but Tyler Algier was good in this offense, and I think he'll be enough of a nuisance where he'll take some of the work away from Bijan.
Enough.
Just enough of a nuisance.
No, enough.
Just enough of a nuisance. I'm not saying he's going to have 300 carries or anything like that. But I think they're going to try to keep Bijan fresh enough where Algier will get some work, taking just enough away from him. I also, I kind of explained this last episode with Norton. I don't think young quarterbacks throw down to the running back as much as people want to make it. So I can't give him like 80 targets how I would Jahmyr Gibbs with an older quarterback.
I don't know if any of us are giving him 80.
I've seen a lot of people talk about that.
Well, I'm talking about the dad.
Where do you have him? Where do you have him?
I have him 5.
How many targets?
43. I have him for quite a bit rushing yards.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Hey,
how many
look at Barkley's. Look at Barkley's rookie year. I have him for 332. A lot.
That's a lot.
It's easily top 3. This is a team that was averaging
270, which I'm comfortable with.
It's not bad, but that's low.
I'm very comfortable with him in that range. And let's be honest.
That's you as like a GM of a team that you're not the GM for, though.
You're like, but you got to.
I want to keep his legs fresh, but they don't. Do they? Like the only RB that we've ever seen game managed is Chubb. And I don't know if that was by.
So that's where we differ. Design. That's where we differ. Is that I think Bijan will
Cody had a little bit of differences, but not
have
quite
around 270 to 280. I have him at 60 targets.
They ran for 550 times last year,
and I don't think they're going to do that this season.
How much less though? How much less are we talking here?
I mean, I have Bijan at 272. 50? I have Algier. Let me find out. I have him at 140 touches.
That's disgusting. There's not a chance.
Okay.
140 is a ton.
It's a good chunk and they're going to be run heavy. Like, I'm not saying they're not going to be run heavy, but I don't think they're going to run the ball 450 times like they did last season.
They spent an 8th round pick, or eighth overall, the 8th.
It's fine.
9th.
Yeah.
Play him.
They're going to. I have him 270 rushes and 61 targets. Like, that's not cake work.
You have him
he's
averaging
still RB8. Like I said, he's probably going to sneak up into
15 carries a game. That's it. 15 carries a game.
I think it'll be around there. And we're like, this offense isn't going to be like that great. So
hey, don't hate on Ritter.
How many touchdowns do you have?
That's fine. 9.5.
I have 7. See, because I don't think the offense is going to be in the red zone enough for him to get over 10.
Well, Willie, in this point here, when we're statting these guys out, we are looking at it kind of, I know this sounds annoying. We're looking at the full season. It's the only way for us to really kind of wrap our head around that unless we got real complex. So, I mean, I find it absolutely incredible that people don't think he's going to, you're not off. But I think it's like an easy 290 is what I mean. I have him for 332. But like, go look at Barkley's stats. It's nuts.
Honestly, I'll probably kick him up to 280-ish.
I think Barkley had a total touches of 360. Those are passes as well. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, I think his real thing for me also is just I have him at 7 touchdowns because I just don't think the offense is going to be that good.
Enough. Stop the Ritter hate.
So those are my reasonings, and I'm sticking by him until I put him up at 5. And then we'll discuss.
New banner. Hashtag stop the Ritter hate. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Let my guy cook.
I definitely don't have him ranked too high. But I hope he's great because I got some Drake London love.
I don't have him ranked too high either, but it's more about I think we're staring at the reason I don't have Ritter that high is because this man right here.
Look what Willie just said. This is a great post right here.
Enough, guys. Come on. Then let's just forget about Bijan, both of you. Anybody that got him out of their top 8. Then what are you doing? What are you doing?
Have him at 8.
Especially on the category. We're at the changing of the guard year, right? Like there's a lot of guys that I have ranked in my top 9 that I'm like, there's a good chance that we might just see these wheels completely come off. And I don't feel that way about Bijan unless he gets injured, and knock on wood. Don't want to see that happen.
Yeah. That's where we differ. I just think Algier is going to be annoying enough, and the offense as a whole won't be as good.
What? He can move. It's not like he's a rushing QB. A scrambler? Would that be more defining?
Yeah, but he could scramble in the red zone and get a tutty.
Oh my!
Take one away from Bijan.
So, I had another guy that I wanted to talk about today. This one's scary.
Yeah.
You and I shared common love for Ramondre last season. Brian had just pulled a text because when I was kind of picking out these guys to talk about, Brian texted me sometime early in the season, how long are you going to let Ramondre kill us? And then another one like, can we drop Ramondre? Dude was off by week 2. That's Brian on Ramondre. Thought nothing of him. He finished pretty strong. So I think this is tougher than everyone is making it out to be. I have a lot to say on here, so I'm going to turn it over to you because our consensus is RB10. You and I are actually on the exact same. You, me, and Brian are on the same point at 14. Old Patriot Homer Alex is at 6, which pulls his average up quite a bit, is my assumption, because between 9 through 14, it would be somewhere, in that vicinity. So I'll let you kick off here.
Sure. For me, this is a complete and utter gut feeling just based off of how the Pats utilize their running backs.
Real quick, Rob.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was a little bit before a midseason bloomer. Like he kind of started going off by like 4 or 5. Yeah.
Week 6 is where he got going. So since 2017, they've had one running back have more than 210 carries. That was Sony Michel in 2019. And in the pass game, they used James White like crazy. But other than that, it wasn't anything special besides Ramondre last season when he had 85 to 80, right? 85, 87
about
targets.
90 targets. Yeah.
Yeah, right around there, which is great. And
insane.
It's great, but I just don't see that happening again. If they utilize him how they use James White in the past game, I'll look like a complete fool. Like I will own that, and I will say I was wrong. But it's hard for me to see them do that. I think they're definitely different types of backs. Where James White was just a receiving specialist, Ramondre is going to be used a lot more in the run. But my final point too is that Mac Jones, I think he knows that this is probably his last season to prove himself in this offense. And if he doesn't, he's going to be out of a job next season. So he might have that pressure to push the ball downfield more than he did last season when he kind of dumped it off to Ramondre more often than not. So I'm looking for Mac Jones to get way more pass happy downfield as opposed to throwing the ball to Ramondre like he did last season.
Yeah, and it was weird. Ramondre's like second half of the season wasn't encouraging at all, and it was a lot more inconsistent. The dude had 15 carries, 7, 10, 3, 19, 13, 8, 6. And outside of he had one game where he tore it up in the receiving game, and then in the 19 carry game, he went absolutely off, 172, 1 touchdown against the Las Vegas terrible defense.
Swiss cheese.
That's not necessarily why I'm down on him. I just actually think that it wasn't behind. I mean, it was behind, but it wasn't like it could be the reason they dumped off a ton to him. Mac was also very conservative last year and kind of playing a little bit hurt. So he was also dumping off a little bit crazy. Don't know if Juju from Jacoby switches anything, if this is the same situation. But the truth is, Ramondre to finish at RB10 as our consensus, and what I think he finished at RB9 or RB10 last season, he's going to need that receiving work. I just don't know if I actually think the receiving work is more likely than the complete rushing and receiving work. And I've already mentioned it, and I'm not going to get too much in my soapbox about it. I think Pierre Strong plays into this offense a little bit. I know nobody wants to hear that, and I know nobody really thinks that, and there's not much of a reason to. But when he played, he ran well. And we looked at Damian Harris for a year and didn't necessarily think about Ramondre, and Ramondre kind of came out of the blue. They definitely let him kind of develop in this backfield. This is the Bill Belichick way. Let him develop, let him sit back. Ramondre didn't get rolling until last year, not 2022. It was 2021 wasn't his rookie year, was it?
I can look, but
2021 was his rookie year. So he started kicking up. He started kicking up a little bit more than Pierre Strong has already. We do have James Robinson there. That's not actually a concern for me at all. If I was to be concerned with Ramondre, it's Pierre Strong. I think the non-signing of an RB speaks more volumes to him. I'm not telling you to necessarily go trade for Pierre Strong or anything. This is more of an insurance. This is more of a long shot wild card. I think he plays into this offense a little bit. It's not very likely that we see Bill Belichick do what he did last season, especially 2 years in a row. That's
what I was saying. That's what I was saying at the beginning of when I was talking about Ramondre. Is it's just how the Pats use their running backs and how historically how they have done it since Bill Belichick is there. You get a really big boom from a running back, and then the next season somebody else comes in and takes a lot of that work away, and then they take over. It's like an ever-evolving door for these running backs in this offense. Last season we were talking about Dame Harris. Like, you got to draft him in the top 8 rounds. Like, he's going to get another 10 touchdowns, and then he didn't do anything last season because Ramondre came on. Like, who knows who's going to be – and you don't know who the running back's going to be that's going to step in and take that workload. I don't know. He's a tricky one for me because it's hard for me to look at the stats and what he did last season and be like, I don't believe it, but
His
I just don't believe it.
Efficiency, everything kind of looked really well outside of the last couple of games. But even in the last couple of games, it was more of the work that was being given to him less than his efficiency. It's not like his efficiency just fell off, except for I think 1 or 2 of those games. So yeah, he's a tough rank this year. He is really like Cody and I discussed. He's like one of the tougher ranks. In addition to tough ranks, this one, for obvious reasons and vastly different reasons, is a very hard rank as well. Breece Hall. We don't know what to expect out of his injury. It's really hard to watch this talent and not want to immediately go higher than what we see right here. But putting at 10 feels risky as it is because he's coming off an ACL. Yes, technology has evolved. Yes, we know that people can come back from them. Does it happen immediately? Not too often, right? Like guys coming back from the ACL, I'm not even going to compare him to JK because JK's was an extreme ACL tear versus much more like Javante's. Breece's was a clean cut. It was just the ACL. There's a lot of things that say, hey, he might be fine. But if you draft Breece Hall and you watch the first couple games, they're giving him 9 to 10 carries and he's not even that efficient with it. If you panic, what are you doing? Right? You drafted him for a reason. You cannot panic on those games. You're literally going to have to kind of wait this out. If you draft him, expect to get, I would say 100 by week 8. By week 6, it'll start looking good. Week 4, you might be a little more excited. Don't expect anything in those first 4, though.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I completely agree with everything you said. It's just, I said it sucks so much that he got hurt because he'd probably be in my top 5.
Gotta hold him for a long term, Willie.
Yeah, he's gonna be slow coming out of the gates. They're gonna probably be conservative the first couple of weeks with him. Make sure he's mentally ready to step in and be that guy. And probably, like you said, probably by the end of the first month of the season, they'll kind of loosen the reins a little bit, let him get going. I think he's going to be as good as he was last season at the back half of the year. Like I'm pretty fine with that. If there's a guy that drafts him in your league in the first month and he's terrible, I'm throwing out offers left and right trying to get Breece Hall.
Yeah, see who's going to bite on that. See who's going to initially panic. And like if you're not in a casual league, you're usually watching a guy not going to panic, but there's definitely people that will be panicking after the first month. And there's a lot of RBs there. So I brought up Breece because I think our consensus is spot on. It's RB11, they're RB11. So that was interesting. What Robbie and I are both saying is this dude could be RB36 through the first 6 weeks, and we're hoping for an RB4 to 6 in the final, and that would hopefully rack him up to around 10 or something. I wanted to talk Breece because we haven't discussed him too much on the episodes yet, but I think this needs to be said, and I know we're saying it in June, and we'll know more. Like, don't go crazy for him. The price may get really high if Breece is at OTAs, he's looking 100%. The price might get really high. At that point, it becomes tougher, right? Like, you know that this season's going to start off slow, so it becomes tougher. But I don't know what his current ADP is right now, Rob. Do you know?
I don't.
I could see in basketball. I mean, that would be maybe a useful piece of information. I mean, in general, I would like. Yeah, it is. He's being drafted at RB11 according to Fantasy Pros on their average, on their ADP.
I got 13 on Fantasy Pros. Oh, this is standard. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 11 on regular. Standard. Get for real, Willie. Okay.
30th overall.
That's rich, but like if I would be okay
with
taking him there. I would be okay with taking him there.
At 30th?
Yeah.
So that's what? Third?
Mid-third. Yeah. Yeah, I would take him there. I mean, that's right at our rank. He'd be my RB2 or RB1. I don't know.
He'd be your RB1 more than likely.
Yeah, that's right. I'd be happy with it.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to boom in the back half of the season. And again, if he comes out slow like we think he's going to, I'm tossing a ton of offers out.
I like it, dude. I like it. Do we have any more? No, this is it. This is it for the boys. Look at that. We managed.
We did. We got in under an hour. Boom. We're
right at an hour.
1 second.
Hey. Wow. Never done that before. Robbie, we need to record an outro. If you're not already following us on Twitter at DadBodFS, we're on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, DadBod Fantasy Squad. Robbie, where can you catch the recorded episodes? The audio?
Spotify, Apple Music, all the major streaming platforms.
For myself, for Robbie Bobby. Peace.
Peace.